We have chosen to focus on the grand challenge of finding methods of carbon sequestration.
What is carbon sequestration? Carbon sequestration is the removal of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and storage in a solid or liquid state. Carbon sequestration occurs naturally when carbon dioxide is broken down into oxygen and carbon. The oxygen is released into the atmosphere, and the carbon is stored within plants, soil, and within the ocean. Carbon sequestration can also occur artificially with the use of modern technology.
How did excess carbon dioxide become a problem? Carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere as a product of any combustion of hydrocarbons. Since hydrocarbons are the main component of petroleum and coal, carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere whenever fuel is used in automobiles or coal is used in power plants. It is also released when wood and many other materials are burnt for warmth. With over 7 billion people using hydrocarbons for heat, power, and transportation, the amount of carbon dioxide that has been and will be produced is more than can naturally be sequestered.
So why is excess carbon such a bad thing? As you can see from the graph, excess carbon in the atmosphere is higher now than has ever been. And if left untreated, this can be a permanent and destructive change to the Earth's climate. A good example is the ocean. As of right now, about a quarter of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is absorbed by the ocean, and this has lowered the basic level of the ocean, making it more acidic.
One way that you can sequester carbon is by injecting it into saline aquifers. As you can see in this graph, the CO2 is injected into the saline aquifer and is stored there where it cannot be released back in the atmosphere. A downside of this is the water source is basically tarnished. Whatever water source you choose in this aquifer can no longer be used for human consumption. Another method is through direct air capture. As you can see in this graph, the air is brought in and then the CO2 in the air is chemically bonded to the filter. Once chemically bonded to the filter, the CO2 is then released from the filter once the filter is heated at a certain temperature into a canister that is then stored underground. Another way carbon can be sequestered is through placing serpentine in the flutes of power plants. When serpentine reacts with carbon dioxide, stable magnesium is formed and the carbon dioxide is not released into the atmosphere. Power is something that is used to run our cell phones, our computers, our TVs, and this power is produced from the burning of fossil fuels. These fossil fuels release CO2 while burned, which go through the flutes. If serpentine was placed in those flutes, the CO2 would become magnesium and would not be released in our atmosphere.